touch. You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotimus truly has the touch.
Video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Prime First Edition Terrorcon Cliffjumper. Now, when it was announced that the first edition figures would be coming back to retail, a lot of people got excited because they wanted to be able to get the first edition mold of Cliffjumper again, or if they missed out on it the first time, be able to get it in the first place. The problem was, only in places like conventions such as San Diego Comic-Con and things like that, was it really kind of announced that the first edition version of Cliffjumper would be the Terrorcon version, and not the original mold that we got back when. This whole problem was fueled by Toys R Us putting up images of the original first edition Cliffjumper on their website, so when people pre-ordered it, they thought they were going to be getting the original one. Instead, they got this one sent to them. And some people, for some reason or another, don't really like this particular version. They want the un-Terrorcon version of them. But I think that this is a wonderful way that they could actually bring to us what I thought was a very cool looking figure that we only got at the 2012 San Diego Comic-Con. Now, this one doesn't come with the added accessory of the Dark Energon shard, or the bit that looks like, or that it attaches to his chest. So that still keeps that kind of exclusive, plus the packaging for this is obviously the first edition packaging, and not the packaging that's modeled after Cliffjumper's head right there, which you can barely see because it's right there. It is. But flip around here on the back, you see all the characters in Transformers Prime, well, the Autobots, and then you see other new first edition figures. Well, not new, but you got the Viacon, you got Bumblebee, as well as Cliffjumper. So there you have it. They do have it listed as figure number 5 in the line, which it really kind of is, because you have 1, 2, Cliffjumper was like 3, and RC was 4, and this is kind of like the 5th one from the first edition. It does come with the display stand, which I still think is really kind of a waste, but there you go. So this is really just going to be kind of a comparison video for you guys, because we've seen many Cliffjumpers. I seem to be doing a lot of Cliffjumper reviews lately, but there he is. So let's get him open and see how cool this one actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Transformers Prime First Edition Terrorcon Cliffjumper open up and out of its packaging. And as you can see, here's his display stand. It's just the cardboard display stand that we got with the first edition figures previously. It's got a Decepticon logo, got an Autobot logo. It's crappy. Now, for the figure, though, I really am happy that they found a way to bring this version of Cliffjumper to us. I know a lot of people are really very excited about the Terrorcon version that we saw at San Diego Comic-Con, and subsequently was only able to get there. So it's very cool that they found a way to bring this back to us, and I absolutely think it's fantastic. You obviously see the paint differences on here. You got the open section up here, you got the bit right there, you got the bits there. I think is that about it? That might be about it in terms of the different paint bits. But for a comparison, here he is, and here's the original first edition. I do have the Repro label Dark Energon stickers on here, and from what I can tell, they're basically identical colors to my eye, though this one looks a little bit darker. I don't know how well that's coming across on camera, but this one, the new one, really does come across a little bit darker. And then obviously you can see that the windshield here is a purple, whereas this is more of a blue. Same with the back section. Headlights identical, everything else is pretty much the same. You do see that the tires in specifically the rims, they're all black. Like this is actually silver, so very cool. I mean, basically there's no other real difference. Oh, you know what, I actually did notice this, the new one here has the silver that comes down, and actually also has the tailpipes, whereas this is just red. Now, for a real good comparison though, this is the new Terrorcon version, and here's actually the San Diego Comic-Con version. So when you do look at it, what I am noticing, there are extra paint bits on here. You got some right here on the back section that this section doesn't have. You got the section right here that the new one also doesn't have, and then you got a streak here on that side. So there are more kind of gashes on it, and then obviously the big thing is that he's got the crack in the windshield, which I think is awesome. The windshield coloring is the same, but you can see that there is a much difference or a much bigger difference in terms of the paint, or I'm sorry, the plastic for the overall figure itself. This one still has red. This has kind of a more purplish tone to it, but the tires, or again, the rims are the same on here. So really, you can see that there is a fairly considerable difference between the two. So people that got the original one from San Diego Comic-Con probably still are a little bit more happy with it because, well, number one, the paint job's a little bit better. You still get the really kind of cool packaging as well as the extra accessories. Like I said, the larger Dark Energon shard, which I can't seem to find mine. And then this little bit right here, which plugs onto his chest. Now, we don't need to go through the transformation instructions because I've shown it before, so all I'm going to do is put a link down in the video description. You can go and check out my full review of either the first edition Cliffjumper or the San Diego Comic-Con version of Cliffjumper. That being said, we're going to go from him being in his really cool kind of sports car mode to his actual robot mode. And what a robot mode he is. Now, again, with the exception of the minor paint differences, this guy is pretty much exactly what we got from San Diego Comic-Con. You got the new head sculpt going on here, which is very cool. The only thing that you're really missing, like I said, are the little added accessories and the packaging. Now, for a comparison, here he is, and here's the San Diego Comic-Con version. And again, you can see that there is a big difference in terms of the paint scheme. The plastic is just molded in a different way, and I like this paint job a whole lot more. This really does kind of give a more kind of dulled red look. This is a much more vibrant, kind of alive look. This one with the more dulled down kind of reddish purple really suits a zombie a little bit better. Then obviously you see the forearms here are black, these are silver. But really, that's about it. One thing that I am actually kind of noticing though is in his mouth, it's actually, there's a little bit of a paint in there that's purple. This one doesn't have that. It's just the regular silver paint, but there actually is a little bit of purple paint going on in his mouth, as if to replicate when he opened his mouth and screamed and you had that glowing look in there. It's really hard to see on the camera though, so I'm not even going to bother zooming in to try to show it. If you have it, you know what I'm talking about. But really though, I mean, these two figures are great figures. Now, I'll be totally honest that if you have this one, you're probably not going to want to pick this one up. But if you weren't able to get this, I would absolutely recommend getting this and then going ahead and getting the repro label stickers. Because you can add extra bits, like the damage that's on this guy's thigh is missing on here. You got no damage here on that side, you got the damage there on that side. You can get those stickers and you can put them on there really wherever you want. And then on this one, on the actual face, I have a couple stickers just to kind of make it look like he's bleeding, I suppose, a little bit more. So if you weren't able to get this one, I would absolutely recommend picking this one up and then getting, like I said, those repro label stickers to really kind of bring things out. The other thing that he doesn't come with is the little shard that it can still be attached here if you really wanted to. If you had this one, you can plug that in there. And like I said, the bigger kind of crayon size one, which I don't know what I'd do with it. But beyond that, though, I mean, you don't really see much of a difference. You got some damage here and here again. Something that you could fix with those repo labels. Same thing with here and here. I mean, beyond that though, there really isn't much of a difference. So if you weren't able to get the San Diego Comic-Con one, this Hasbro release is an absolutely perfect way to get that Terrorcon kind of look for Cliffjumper. I mean, basically you're getting everything that was really good about the San Diego Comic. I mean, because, you know, who cares about the packaging? That just went in the storage for me. You know, and then these little extra accessories, sure, they're cool, but they're not 100% necessary. The figure is really the best part. And this figure really does nicely give us what we got with Comic-Con. Overall, what it comes down to is, like I said, whether or not you were able to actually get the San Diego Comic-Con version. If you were, then this new Hasbro one, like I said, is probably just going to be a waste of money. Unless you really want to have all the versions of Cliffjumper that you can possibly get your hands on. Now remember, this is a Toys R Us exclusive. The first edition figures are only at Toys R Us here, at least in the United States. Throughout the world, I'm not 100% sure what other stores they're carrying them at. But if you do see this guy, I would absolutely recommend picking him up, especially if, like I said, you don't have him. He's an absolute wonderful display option, and you can still separate this. I mean, you can really kind of recreate this look here. Let me get it going. Separate that, and now you can have his body broken and his zombie. I mean, that's just really very kind of cool. So, I mean, But that's about it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the Transformers Prime First Edition Terrorcon Cliffjumper. So thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as upcoming videos all at facebook.com/teambotimus and twitter.com/optibotimus. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.